Fawkes Day. What is bonfire night? Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason, and plot. We know no reason why gunpowder treasure should be found. Forgot. Traditional nursery rhyme. On November 5th every year, people in the United Kingdom watch fireworks and attend bonfires. People cheer when a demi-color guy on top of the fire goes up in flames. This is Guy Fawkes Day, or Bonfire Night. It celebrates a day in 1605 when the King of England and his government survived a plot to kill them. Who was Guy Fawkes? Guy Fawkes was born in 1517 in England. Queen Elizabeth the First was the ruler then. At the time in Europe, many Catholic and Protestant countries were at war. The Catholic religion was illegal in England in those days. Catholics who were caught practicing the religion were punished. Guy's parents were Catholic, but his parents were Protestant. Guy's father died and his mother remarried a Catholic. At school, he made friends with people who were Catholic. When he was a teenager, Guy became a Catholic. He was angry about how badly Catholics were treated in England. When Guy was old enough, he left England to join the Catholic Spanish army. He was a soldier for 12 years. He learned how to use gunpowder to make explosives. The Gunpowder Plot. In 1607, Queen Elizabeth I died, and King James took her place. He was a Protestant king who passed tough laws against the Catholic religion. Many English Catholics were still loyal to the English king, however. Fawkes met other Englishmen in the Spanish army who was also angry about the king's treatment to Catholics. In April 1604, Robert Catesby led a group of men in a plot to kill King James I. The plotters asked Fawkes to join them. They needed him to make explosives. Fawkes agreed. In May 1604, Fawkes met with Catesby and other plotters in London. They swore never to reveal their plan. Their plot was to blow up the Parliament buildings. The king and all of his government would be there. Their plot was blown up by the Parliament buildings. The king and all his governments would be there. The plotters could start the rebellion with the Catholic supporters. They would kidnap King James' daughter, Princess Elizabeth, and make her queen. Elizabeth was only 9 years old. They believed that the Catholic rulers could control their decisions. Robert Catesby lived in a house just across the river in Parliament. The plotters thought about 36 barrels of gunpowder and stored them in his house. Another group, Thomas Percy, got a job as a royal bodyguard. He moved into the house near Parliament and was also able to rent a cellar beneath the buildings of Parliament. The group used a rowboat to take the gunpowder across the river from Robert Catesby's house at night. They hid in the cellar beneath the Parliament. Guy Fawkes pretended to be Thomas Percy's servant, so he could easily enter the Parliament buildings. His job was to guard the gunpowder hidden in the basement. The opening of the Parliament had been set for November 5th, 1605. The plotters were ready. Caught. The secret letter was sent to the Catholic nobleman called Lord Monteagle. He was loyal to the king. The letter warned Monteagle not to attend the Parliament on November 5th because something bad would happen. The Monteagle showed the letter to the king's assistants. When the king heard this news, he ordered his men to search the Parliament buildings. The search party found fire in the dark cellar. They did another search. This time they found Fawkes and his fuses matches he was carrying. He took under the firewood and discovered the barrels of the gunpowder. Guy Fawkes was caught. He told the king's guard that he wanted to blow up the king and his government. He was only sorry that his plot failed. He insisted that no one else had helped him. Fawkes was put in prison in the Tower of London on November 9th. He was forced to confess the names of the others in the group. On the morning of November 5th, the plotters had heard that Fawkes was in prison. They left London and tried to start a revolt against the government. On November 8th, a group of King's men caught up with them. Robert Castaby, and 3 others were killed with a gunfire. The rebellion had failed. The English courts sentenced each of the Eagle surviving plotters to death for being a traitor. On January 1608, Guy Fawkes and 3 others were executed. Their punishment was a warning to anyone who might try the same. Another conspiracy. Some people believe that the king's own ministers might have helped the plotters. One of the king's ministers may have even written the warning letter. Perhaps the government knew the plotters had entered the basement and smuggled the gunpowder inside. Stopping the plot could have been a way to make Catholics look bad and create support for an unpopular king. There was no proof for the version of the story, however. Stopping the gunpowder plot did give English people relief. Their king was safe. Parliament officially made November 5th a day of celebration. The celebration was meant to strengthen the people's loyalty to the king. The legacy of the plot. The holiday was first known as the Gunpowder Treason Day. In the 7th century, people rang church bells and lit bonfires to mark that day. In English then, people already burned dummies on bonfires. They believed doing this would drive evil spirits. On November 5th, people began to burn a dummy of Guy Fawkes on a bonfire. In the 9th century, big firework displays and parades began. People marched where the bonfire fireworks displays were held. Now the bonfires are put on by local organizations. Conclusion. Guy Fawkes Day was a failure of the gunpowder plot to kill the king of England. These events happened over 400 years ago. People around the United Kingdom look forward to Bonfires Day and fireworks on November 5th. Guy Fawkes Day had become a day of celebration and to have fun with friends and family.